55 million years ago, a plant known as grass appeared. Fast forward 55 million years, and a guy called Notch decides to add grass to his game, called Minecraft. Fast forward 8 years, and a Minecraft server called Hypixel makes a game called Skyblock which includes grass. This game blows up and eventually becomes the biggest MMO server in Minecraft. With a staff team of only about 5 or 6 admins working on Skyblock, many exploits slip past them, and many bugs go unnoticed. As more features are added to the game, the potential for catastrophic exploitation goes higher and higher. But today we won't be talking about any of the new items being added to the game, but rather, the block that has been in Minecraft for 8 years, and has existed in real life for 55 million years. Grass. Not the solid block, but the non-solid grass. This may look like a harmless regular block, but do not fall for it. Because grass, out of everything else, has been used in exploits on Hypixel Skyblock, and has even used to dupe stuff. So buckle your seatbelts. Because today we will be diving into how grass became weaponized in Skyblock. Special thanks to Frozie for giving info on this topic. Link to his channel in the description. Keep in mind that none of the following exploits no longer work. It all begins with a man called TimeDeo. He enjoys finding exploits in Skyblock and reporting them to admins. But he cannot do this exploit hunting alone. So he has some friends to help find aforementioned exploits and get them fixed. Supposedly, they had reported so many bugs that the admins couldn't deal with it and started crying. But it doesn't end there. 2 weeks ago, TimeDeo and his group stumbled upon yet another exploit. And this one involved grass. You see, there is this weird feature in Hypixel. In Minecraft, the max Y level you can build at is 255. By putting normal grass at Y equals 255 and bone mealing it to make it double tall grass, the top half of the double grass would be deleted. But in Hypixel, the max Y level you can build at is 254. And there's a reason. It used to be 255, but had to be lowered to prevent the exploit. In Skyblock, when the server tries placing blocks above Y equals 255, the block just gets placed at Y equals 0, since you can't place stuff above 255. So making double grass at Y equals 255 would cause the top part of the grass to be placed at Y equals 0. Now this sounds like one of the lamest exploits. But TimeDeo and the gang found a way to somehow make this overpowered. By putting a chest at Y equals 0, putting grass at Y equals 255 at the same X and Z coordinates, and bone mealing it, the top half of the tall grass would break the chest, causing all of its items to come out. It doesn't duplicate items, but it does something a bit stranger. There are these things called collections in Skyblock. By collecting items, you can work towards collection levels to unlock new stuff. And no, you can't just drop and pick up items over and over again. But most people don't really go for the stuff. They increase their collection for the flex. And you know one person who did this? Technoblade and or Squid Kid. After spending 600 hours, he had gained a total of 500 million potatoes. A feat that was seen as monumental. But what if I told you? You could use the grass exploit to beat Technoblade in just 10 minutes. By using the grass exploit to break chests, any items you pick up from it will count towards your collection, which isn't supposed to happen. You can then put the items back in the chest, break it, and pick it up again, and the game will think you have just made more collection. And this was very overpowered. A single chest can hold 1,726 enchanted baked potatoes, which is equal to 44 million normal potatoes. By using the grass exploit to break the chest and drop all its items, you could pick all the potatoes up and gain 44 million more potatoes for your collection. You could repeat this over and over again, gaining 44 million potatoes for your collection every time until you pass 500 million. Heck, you could go for the integer limit in under an hour. Of course, you would technically still have 44 million potatoes, but the game would think you had billions of potatoes. Or maybe you could do it with something other than potatoes. This exploit could let you become number 1 in every collection if you wanted to, in just a few hours. And you could unlock every recipe. However, TimeDeo was not really interested in doing that. So he reported this oversight to the admins. And now the Skyblock build limit is 1 block below the normal build limit. Maybe you don't think that grass is really a weapon yet. After all, you are still stuck with the same amount of items as when you started. But the next grass-related exploit dates back to 3 months ago. And let's just say, it's more than just a collection exploit. Speaking of collection, I would like to collect, obtain, and acquire more subscribers so we can pass I go by lots of names and subs. I've always talked about passing other YouTubers, but we shall see if we can pass ourselves in subs. So please subscribe. Anyways, back to the video. There are these types of exploits I like to call block duplications. Block duplications are a bit weirder than normal dupes, but one common block duplication is where you break a block while the island lags, causing you to obtain the block, while the block is still placed down. So how exactly do you do that? Well, I'm not sure how in the hell this was discovered. But a team of glitch finders called Frozie, Traux, Lil Dafty, Aiden9, Fastnax, and Blobbert, found a ridiculous method of duping blocks, involving grass. By placing down a spray can anywhere, and placing grass below the spray can, and then using bone meal on the grass, and instantly switching to a minion expander and right-clicking the spray can with it, you could duplicate any block you want. Here's how it worked. It only works with the spray can, and no other type of player head. When double tall grass grows under the spray can, it glitches out the spray, allowing you to place the minion expander on it. This feature will be explained later. The game doesn't really like this, so it just freezes your island, meaning that your island won't function as intended. It's quite confusing and complicated, but there's just 2 things you need to know about island freezes. Breaking a block during a freeze won't count, so it just stays after the freeze is over. And breaking a block will give you the block, even during a freeze. So this island freeze allows you to duplicate blocks. By unfreezing the island, which you do by right-clicking the command block you placed, the blocks you break will be in your inventory, but they will still be placed on your island. So what exactly could you dupe with this? The first thing that probably came to your mind is the diamond block, but I have a better idea. Diamond blocks only sell for 72 coins. Which is lame. The block that sells for the most to the NPC is the dragon egg, which sells for 10,000 coins. Dragon eggs are unobtainable, but there are some in the game obtained from glitches. Assuming that you had a dragon egg, you could duplicate tons of dragon eggs and sell them for millions of coins to the NPC. Assuming you break 1 dragon egg per second, you could make 36 million coins per hour. And all of this, caused by a grass block. But it's not as simple as it seems. There are trillions of other variables that I will not go into detail, such as your island unfreezing on its own quite randomly. So you might get kicked out of the freeze state every now and then. You might be really, quite confused right now about how this is possible. But that's okay. Because now I will explain a bit more of the Hypixel system that led up to this glitch. You see, when there are several different admins, each probably having different goals in mind, having varying levels of experience, and probably working on projects without the other admins knowing, you will have a lot of inconsistency. There are many blocks that are supposed to be items rather than actual placeable blocks, such as the minion expander. However, the minion expander is a bit different from other unplaceable blocks. The admins have coded it for most blocks in the game so that right-clicking them with minion expanders will do nothing, instead of placing them. Well, most blocks. One of the exceptions to this is a bugged version of the spray can. When you grow a tall grass right under a spray can specifically, the top half of the tall grass combines with the spray can to form a different block, which is a bug you cannot do with other heads. This new block doesn't have the rule that right-clicking them with minion expanders will not place them, so right-clicking the minion expander on the bugged spray can will place the block, leading to the island freaking out. And this leads to the block duplication. In case this explanation caused you to be more confused than before, it is okay. There are many confusing bugs and exploits in Skyblock, due to the fact that there are hundreds of custom items and plugins. But more recently, the game's complexity has led to bigger and bigger issues, not just a small command block placing exploit. Recent changes to quote-unquote fix backpacks and other stuff have led to catastrophic bugs that has led to catastrophic item deletion, with numerous people losing billions of coins worth of stuff just by logging on. These bugs become more and more common with each change stacked on top of all the other changes, but I am not an expert programmer, so I don't know how to fix this. But I have one suggestion. If any admins or staff members or basically anyone with actual connections is listening to this, please bring back the alpha network. It worked so well with testing the Dungeons update, and there's a reason why Dungeons didn't lead to quadrillions of game-breaking bugs when it was released to the main server, unlike these new changes. So my suggestion is to test all updates on the alpha network. Not just the main ones, but small bug fixes as well and everything. Release them all to the beta testing network and tell people to test it. Then you find any exploits and patch them before releasing them to the server. It is necessary at this point with how complex the game has gotten, and if updates continue to be released without testing how they affect an actual Skyblock environment, then things will only get worse from here. But what were we talking about again? Oh yeah. Grass. Did you guys know that early humans from 3 million years ago got half of their nutrition from eating grass? Shout out to the channel members. And check out the other videos that are on other stuff. Goodbye.